She punched herself in the eye and dialed 911. "I'm telling them you beat me unless you sign over the house." I replied, "Smile for the camera." I pointed to the hidden nanny cam recording the whole thing. When the police arrived, they didn't arrest me. Baker acted her for psychiatric evaluation. Best Reddit story. So here's the thing. I never thought my life would turn into something people would whisper about at cookouts or read online like some cautionary tale. But here we are. My ex-girlfriend, Lauren, and I were together for just under 3 years. And until last month, I honestly believed the worst argument we'd ever have was about whether pineapple belonged on pizza. I had no idea she was capable of the kind of thing you only see in movies or those late-night crime shows where the reenactments are badly lit and overly dramatic. And yet, somehow, my actual life managed to outdo them. It started slow, like all disasters do. Lauren moved into my house about 1.5 years into our relationship. Not because we planned it, not because we talked about our future, but because her roommate got engaged and needed the apartment for herself and her fiancé. It was supposed to be temporary. I told her she could crash with me for a couple of weeks while she figured out her next move. Temporary became permanent the way a dingy old couch becomes permanent when you don't feel like renting a truck to haul it away. She stopped looking for apartments entirely. My house, 3-bedroom, 2-bath, in a quiet suburb of Jacksonville, was mine before I ever met her. I bought it 6 years ago, paid for everything myself, earned the equity through actual work. I'm a construction project manager. Long hours, lots of stress, but the paycheck covered the mortgage, utilities, savings, all the adult things you're supposed to handle. Lauren worked as an HR assistant. She could afford her own place if she wanted to. But why pay rent when you can live mortgage-free in someone else's house? At first, it didn't bother me. We split utilities and groceries, and I didn't mind giving her a place to stay. Until one day, months later, she started saying things like our house or our equity or our future investment. I corrected her every time. My house, I'd say. My name's on the deed. You're living here, but you don't own any part of it. She hated that. She'd go quiet or sulk or start small fights out of nowhere. Then 4 months ago, everything shifted. She started saying things like, when we get married, even though we'd never seriously discussed marriage. It was like a switch flipped in her head. Suddenly, she wanted rings, vows, paperwork, all the things she'd never shown interest in before. And every conversation circled back to the house. When we get married, I get legal protections. When we get married, the house becomes marital property. When we get married, we'll share everything. Translation: when we get married, I get half your house. I'm not stupid. I knew exactly what she was hinting at. But the worst part? She wasn't even being subtle about it. She literally asked me one night while we were eating spaghetti if I'd add her to the deed so she could feel secure. I laughed because I thought she was joking. She wasn't. 3 weeks ago, she hit the ultimate level of desperation. She proposed to me. Yes, proposed. On one knee, with a ring box she clearly bought herself. And the very first sentence out her mouth was about the house becoming ours legally if we got married. I said no. Not because I don't believe in marriage, but because she didn't want me. She wanted the property value. She threw the ring box at me, called me selfish, accused me of financial manipulation, and slept on the couch for 3 nights. Things were icy after that. She made passive-aggressive comments like, must be nice to own something of value, or I guess I'm just temporary. And honestly, I didn't even argue. I figured she'd either cool off or move out. Either one worked for me. 1 week ago, my neighbor's house got broken into, so I installed security cameras, outside covering the driveway and porch, one in the living room disguised as a smoke detector, and another small nanny cam style one hidden on a shelf. Nothing in private spaces, just common areas. I didn't even think to tell Lauren. They were for my safety, period. And thank God for that decision, because what happened days later would have ruined my life if not for those cameras. The Tuesday everything exploded started out normal. I got home around 5:30 p.m. Lauren was standing in the living room, arms crossed, face tight, like she'd been rehearsing her anger for hours. We need to talk, she said. My stomach dropped because nothing good follows that sentence. She launched into a speech about how I was excluding her from the home she lived in, how she deserved stability, how I was treating her like a tenant, how she wanted ownership, commitment, security, all those buzzwords people use when they're masking their real goal. I told her for the 100th time she didn't own the house and never would. Her whole expression went cold. "There's another way," she said. "You could just give me the house." I laughed, not to mock her, but because it was so ridiculous, I honestly thought she was kidding. She wasn't. "Sign it over," she said, as a gesture of trust. "Lauren, are you out of your mind?" I asked, and that's when she said something that made my stomach twist. "Sign it over or I'll make you." I asked her what that meant. She didn't answer. She walked into the kitchen, grabbed her phone, and came back with this eerie calm. "Last chance," she said softly. "Sign the house over. Get out of my house." I told her. That's when she hit record on her phone, pointed at me and said, "Stop. Don't come near me." I wasn't even near her. I was 10 feet away. I told her to stop acting crazy. She lowered the phone. Her expression changed into something I still can't erase from my mind. Then she punched herself in the face. A full force swing. Right eye. I heard the impact. My jaw dropped open. She hit herself again, harder, her eye already swelling. "Lauren, what the hell?" I yelled, but she started screaming. "Stop hitting me. Please stop." Then she dialed 911. The switch in her voice was instant. Crying, panicked, terrified. "My boyfriend is beating me," she sobbed. "Please send someone. He's going to kill me." I stood frozen, unable to process the insanity happening in front of me. When she hung up, she wiped her tears, dropped the act, and said in her normal voice, "You have 5 minutes to sign the deed, or you're going to jail for domestic violence." She pulled pre-filled quitclaim deed papers from her back pocket. She had planned all of this. I felt sick, scared, furious. Her eye was swelling fast. The sirens were already close. And then I remembered the cameras. "You want the house that badly?" I asked quietly. "I want what I deserve," she said. "What you deserve." I repeated. 3 years. I deserve something. "You deserve a psychiatric evaluation," I said under my breath. She smirked. "Sign the papers." "No." "Then you're going to jail." The sirens were right outside. I could see the flashing blue and red lights. She whispered, "Last chance." I smiled, not because I wasn't terrified. But because I suddenly knew I wasn't the one whose life was about to fall apart. "Smile for the camera," I said. She blinked. "What?" I pointed to the bookshelf. Camera 1. Then to the ceiling. Camera 2. Her face drained of color. "You're lying," she said weakly. "Am I?" I asked, "Want to bet your freedom on it?" The pounding on the door shook the whole living room. "Police! Open the door." She panicked. "Delete them," she screamed. "Delete the videos." "Can't," I said. "Already uploaded to cloud storage." The police came in. 3 officers. The female officer went straight to Lauren, saw the bruising, asked if she was okay. Lauren immediately went back into her terrified act. He hit me. He hit me." The male officer started to take me outside, but I said, "I have video evidence. All of it." The officers paused. They gathered around my phone. I pulled up the footage. The video showed everything. Her punching herself, her threatening me, the phone call, the extortion attempt, the papers. You could hear every word. They watched in silence. When it ended, the female officer turned to Lauren and said, "Ma'am, did you injure yourself and falsely report domestic violence?" Lauren looked at the floor and whispered, "I just wanted what I deserved." "Is that a yes?" "Yes." They arrested her on the spot. Handcuffs, Miranda rights, the whole thing. And because she'd hurt herself in the process, they Baker acted her for psychiatric evaluation. I stood in my own living room, shaking so badly I had to sit down. My girlfriend, someone I trusted, someone I lived with, had tried to destroy my life to steal my house. Over the next days, the fallout spiraled. The police took all the footage. My lawyer helped me file a restraining order. Her mom called me screaming that I'd ruined her daughter's life. She blamed me, said Lauren was desperate, said she deserved part of the house. I told her what I told the detective. Lauren lived here rent-free for 18 months. That was her deserved share. After psychiatric hold, Lauren was taken back into custody. She posted bail only because her mother helped her. Her job fired her once the story reached the news. Friends chose sides. Most chose mine. The rest dropped her once more details surfaced. And eventually, Lauren tried to contact me through Instagram, apologizing, begging me not to go through with charges. I forwarded it to the detective, violation of the restraining order. She got a written warning. Her lawyer offered plea deals, smaller charges, no jail time. I refused, every single time. She tried to steal my house. She tried to frame me for domestic violence. She tried to wreck my entire life because she wanted unearned equity. No, we're going to trial. And yes, she's facing multiple felonies. I know some people think I'm cold for pressing charges. Some say I should show compassion, that mental health played a role. But here's the thing. She didn't have a breakdown in the moment. She planned it. She printed the papers, filled them out, practiced the lie, chose the moment, waited for me to get home. She wasn't in crisis. She was calculating. And the only mistake she made was not checking for cameras. Now, I'm okay. My house is safe. My job intact. I'm even dating again. Someone normal. Someone stable. Someone who isn't trying to turn my property into a financial exit plan. I added more cameras. 2. Front yard, backyard, garage, hallways. Not because I expect this to happen again, but because now I know the world is capable of things I didn't think possible. My home is my peace, my security, my future. I earned it, and no one is ever taking it from me through lies, threats, or violence. And if they try, they can smile for the camera.